Well, a happy Thursday afternoon to everybody. Hope you're having a good day. This is Bill O'Leary coming to you live here as part of our Thirsty Thursday series, where every time or every Thursday at about this time, I'm going to be talking to you a short little talk about a topic that may interest you that might relate to, estate planning, things like wills and trusts and powers of attorney, elder law, that sort of thing. And so, if you are thirsting for knowledge, you've come to the right place. So, on this Thursday, today's topic is going to be the question is at what age should I start estate planning? Okay? Well, let me suggest to you that if you're even asking this question, the answer is probably now. Most people don't think they need an estate plan until they're older or maybe, until they have more money, but that's simply not true. The fact is, there's no specific age at which you should start thinking about estate planning. It's never too early to consider, gee, well, what would happen to your assets, your money, if you passed away? People at every age should put together an estate plan that fits their particular needs. From something very simple for a 30-year-old to, let's say, a fully funded trust plan for somebody 60 and above. So let me ask you this: what's kept you from starting your own estate planning? Well, again, it may be that you think you're too young, as I just said. You're healthy, and boy, death or incapacity seems so far remote, never going to happen to me. Or maybe you don't think you have the money to do it. Or maybe you're not quite sure, who you want to get your assets and your money. Well, a good reason for beginning the estate planning process now is that it gives you control over what happens after you die, and knowing that you've gotten your affairs in order can give you great comfort and great peace of mind about sort of setting your family's financial future after you're gone. So again, when is the right time to think about estate planning? Well, by paying attention to certain milestones that many of us achieve in life. You can, using these milestones as sort of markers, you can identify maybe the right time to take care of your estate planning needs. So, what are some of these markers or milestones in life? Well, let's say that you're young and you're opening your first bank account. Okay. Well, a natural step would be, gosh, who's going to get the money in that account if something were to happen to you? If you happen to get into some bad car accident and you don't make it home. So you're able to designate what's called a beneficiary of that account. Again, this will ensure that the money in the account passes to the person that you want. Let's say you buy a home. That's another milestone. The purchase of a home is definitely a sign to start estate planning. You wouldn't want your home to be stuck in probate before your family is able to get it. Getting married, another milestone. A married couple often will combine assets, and really that's a perfect time to start estate planning. So take the time, to determine, well, what would happen in the event that one of you passes away, or let's say both of you, you're out on date night, you don't make it home. Where's the money going to go? And this planning is especially important if you're not just getting married, but getting remarried. Good estate planning is especially important with second marriages. How about travel? At the very least, it is highly recommended that you update your estate plan before taking a big trip. The birth of a first child. How about that? One of the most obvious events that calls for doing estate planning is the birth of your first child. Why? Because you need to think about things like guardianship. Who's going to take your child into the home if something happens to you and your spouse? What about providing the financial security for your child? It's not a thought most new parents want to dwell on it, but it's crucial to get it in writing. So as you prepare to have your first child, it's always smart to be thinking about who you want to, again, let's say, appoint as the guardian to take your child into their home if something were to happen to you. And where we name guardian is in a will. So you've heard of a will. A will is the place where a guardian is named. So the birth of the child, at a bare minimum, you need to make sure you have a good will in place that names the guardians, the people of your choice. Okay. How about another milestone, coming into an inheritance, mom or dad or an uncle passes away and you happen to come into some money. And this can happen very, very quickly. So, then this money is sort of put in your lap during updating your estate plan to reflect any additional money or assets you inherit is very important. Maybe starting a new job, Similar with an inheritance, starting a new job means you're going to be coming into some more money. It's a good time to be thinking about putting your estate plan in place, or if you have an existing plan, updating it. Another milestone that absolutely calls for putting an estate plan in place or updating an old estate plan is if you happen to get divorced. Okay, it's critical to update any previous estate planning that you've done that maybe you did with your former spouse. And of course, if blessed with grandchildren, it's a good idea if you want to provide for the grandkids to update your will, or maybe by that point in your life, maybe you have a trust in place to make sure that the grandkids are taken care of. So if we want to go ahead and sort of get more granular, break it down by sort of age group, okay? So if you're in your 20s, okay? Let's even go back to age 18. Well, what's magical about age 18? Well, you're a legal adult, okay? And so your parents no longer have any authority to make decisions for you, whether it's healthcare decisions if you can't anymore because you've gotten into some car accident and you're incapacitated. They can't make financial decisions for you. So it's important, even for somebody that young, to have the most basic things in place. Healthcare advance directives, so somebody's able to make healthcare decisions for you, is able to even talk to the doctors in the hospitals. A financial power of attorney, where someone is able to make financial decisions for you. So both healthcare decisions and financial decisions. So those are the most basic things for somebody that young. Now we move along, and if you find yourself in your 30s, maybe you have a home, maybe you've started a family, you have some financial assets at that point. Make sure that you protect your children and, if married, your spouse by putting at least a will in place that's going to make clear who's going to inherit your assets, who's going to take care of settling up your estate, and for children that you may have, who's going to be taking care of your children, take them into their home as the guardian. So that's something you might consider in your 30s, at least putting a will in place with also the power of attorney and advanced healthcare directives that we mentioned. Now you're in your 40s, so you skipped ahead. If you have a will in place by your 40s, good job. A lot of people don't, so you're a little bit ahead of the game. If not, it's time to catch up. And in fact, a lot of times by the time you get into your 40s, you may have parents that are in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, okay? Good time for you in your 40s to talk to your parents about their own estate planning. And sometimes these conversations can be difficult, and not all parents may be open to having that conversation, but persist. Understanding your parents' long-term financial and healthcare needs usually is best for everyone. So maybe you want to check with your parents to make sure they have legal documents in place for things like, well, how are their assets going to be distributed? Do they have a will? Maybe is it better for them to have a trust? Do they have beneficiary designations in place? How are the medical decisions going to be made if they become incapacitated? Who's going to have sort of a higher priority in making those decisions over others? Long-term care, where do they want to live? How are they going to pay for it? How are they going to pay for it? Hey, your parents may even have a long-term care insurance policy. Boy, wouldn't that be nice to find out? Take some of the load off them and maybe indirectly off you. So ask the question. Now let's fast forward to somebody in their 50s and 60s. If you haven't done any estate planning by your 50s, regrettably, you're not alone. There was a study done some years ago, and almost half of baby boomers don't have estate planning documents in place. So by the time you get in your 50s, and certainly by no later than your 60s, you probably want to strongly consider at least putting a trust, a living trust in place, okay? Because by this point in your life, maybe you've accumulated some assets. So a trust gives you more control over who's going to get your assets, where they're going to be distributed while you're alive as well as after you die, okay? It also can make sure that your family will not be stuck in probate, that things will go smoothly and easily to them. And if you find yourself, age 70 or above, Well, maybe by this point your estate plan has already been put together, and maybe you might want to revisit it, maybe tweak this and that. And if you don't, then absolutely get busy. So make sure that your plan is as clear as possible and is ready to be executed when necessary. And as I've mentioned, what if you already have an estate plan in place? When should you maybe get an update? Okay. Well, a lot of these estate planning milestones or triggers in life, they I guess I should say these milestones may serve as a trigger to having your plan looked at again. Okay. So the fact is, look, many people delay in creating an estate plan because they don't feel like their current situation calls for it. For worse yet, they don't take any action because, gee, maybe they think, why am I going to do it now? Because things may change in the future. That's the worst excuse. Put a plan in place now. You can always change it later. Okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this talk about at what age you should start estate planning. If you'd like to know more, we'd be delighted to talk to you. What you can do is you can book a free 15-minute phone call with somebody on our team. Go to our Facebook page and select the Book Now button. Again, this call would give you a chance and us a chance to see whether it'll be a good fit. We can also get a little better idea of your situation, so we can tell you if we can help you or not. If you don't want to book through the Facebook page, you can just Google us or just call us at 904-880-5554. Just Google us, Legacy Planning Law Group. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this talk. At what age? The topic, at what age should I start estate planning? As I mentioned, I plan on giving another talk next Thursday at about this time as part of our Thursday series. Again, same day and time, as best as I can hold to that. Just a different topic to try to mix things up. So again, if you're thirsting for knowledge, we will quench your thirst. So again, this is Bill O'Leary signing off for now on behalf of everyone here at Legacy Planning Law Group. Some time this afternoon with us, and please go make it a great day. Make the world a better place.